Hello, beautiful souls. Rare and special event. Like a super rare unicorn sighting, Sky is teaching some of the foundational Theta Healing certification courses online. It is one blazing rainbow of a portal opening up for a life-changing experience, all from the comfort of your own home. If you're interested in joining me, learning from my years of service to this international community, it's time to make your dreams come true and share with you one of the most powerful tools used to bring us into alignment, direct connection to the highest vibration of all that is, to ramp up your manifestation skills, all while creating impeccable discernment and empowering you with a map to the universe and beyond that will serve you the rest of this life and throughout lifetimes to come. If you're ready to step in, this is your time. If you're ready to clear your limiting beliefs and trauma that you haven't been able to get rid of this whole lifetime, pain or suffering, and general overall cosmic crap that you may think has been serving you, and move forward to be the most epic, brilliant, sparkly representation of self on this earth in a human body, this is one of the most potent steps I've discovered over the last almost 2 decades throughout all my travels, hanging out with all these healers all over the world that can help you get that for yourself. Taking these foundational certification courses with me after I've helped write and create these very foundational courses of Theta Healing that have made it internationally renowned and traveled around the world with the founder Vianna Steibel and her husband Guy is a unique, powerful transmission, a download in itself that you don't want to miss. Plus, I'm effing magical. After all, cell does talk to cell, and light travels faster than the speed of light, and light just is. For more details and how to register for upcoming courses, go to www.skyislimitless.com. Go to the Work with Sky section, and then you'll see all about Theta Healing certification. That's www.skyislimitless.com. Or you can just go to the show notes and click on the link there.
Welcome to Leading with Light, a wellspring for the transformational leader that you were born to be, where you can fill up and align, gather and be inspired, and bring your vision to light. Guiding you towards your divine connection and limitless possibilities, here is your host, visionary leader extraordinaire, Sky Ahern. Poof.
Hello, transformational leaders. Welcome to this love and this light fest, your sweet spot for stepping up and getting your shine on. I'm your host, Sky Ahern, and you are listening to Leading with Light. Today's guest is Kelley Hunter, Ph.D. Kelley Hunter, Ph.D., longtime astrologer, mythologist, author, and speaker, brings her rich wisdom of psychology, cosmology, holistic healing, unified field physics, and spirituality into unique focus on the cosmic feminine. Kelley is the director of Helia Productions, where she co-creates experiential events for personal and planetary awakening, diving into the creative process, storytelling, and stargazing. You can learn more about Kelley and sign up for her cosmic astrological newsletter at www.heliastar.com. That's HELIA star.com. Welcome to the show, dear friend.
Hey, Sky. So good to see you again. It's our seasonal moment.
Yes, we need this.
Yeah, it's quite a time, isn't it?
Oh, wow. That's all I can say. Wow.
Ending of 2021, and in quite a way, last year, 2020 ended up with some celestial fireworks in December, and the same thing this year. Oh,
we're going to have to talk about some major how to float through, surf through, breathe through this time. It's pretty lit.
Yeah, we're feeling it. We're really feeling it. Our hearts are very present and want to talk to us more about how to move forward in life.
Well, I know that the way that I always got to move forward is just praying each step in. So let's start off with our prayer, our little meditation. We're going to invite all of you to join us as well. So just find a comfortable place to sit down. If you're driving, you can just stop, pull over the side of the car, pull over the side of the road. It'll be worth it. So when you're ready, you're gonna maybe put your hand on your heart, just feeling your heart, maybe on your stomach too, and then your feet on the ground, just feeling your earth body, your earth connection, and breathing into the earth, pulling up that energy of the earth, which is a part of all that is, that sparkly, iridescent light transformed into matter, making this earth upon which we stand and live our home, feeling that energy of unconditional love coming up through the different layers of the Mama Earth as she breaches that darkest part, the lightest part of the year. Winter solstice is coming just from around the corner today, actually. Today, boom, it's coming out on today. So just feeling that energy, that celebration of the earth coming up, that energy of your creation coming up into every cell of your body, all the way up, lighting up all of your chakras as you go like a rainbow through your body, up through the crown of your head, and just holding your breath at your top of your head. The next breath that you take, I want you to breathe down the front of your body, using that unconditional love to help you get out of your space, anything unlike unconditional love. Anything that you're holding on to that you just won't let go of, any resistance, anything that you're holding on for anyone else, you're just going to breathe that energy down into the earth and give it to them on Mama Earth, watching it discreate as you send it to the seventh plane of existence, into the energy that it truly is. And then breathing in that sparkly white light all the way up through our solar system, into the core of the earth and up through the soles of your feet, in your body, which bridges the heavens and the earths all the way up, back of your spine, up to the crown of your head, coming up out of your space in a beautiful ball of light, up past the stars and the planets, past the universe, past the multiverse, different layers of dark lights, white lights, up through the thick jelly-like substance, the laws of the universe. You're going to find this pink cotton candy-like energy, this law of compassion. And as you step into it, imagine it just wrapping all around you like a baby in a blanket, just holding you, supporting you, filling your heart and feeling that compassion for yourself, for your human expansive existence on this earth, for choosing to be here on this earth at this time, having compassion for yourself, stepping further into that energy until you see this white window of sparkly iridescent light. And as soon as you see it, you're just going to step into it, and it just goes poof all around you, sparkly white light forever. It's quiet, sparkly. You can actually have anything up there you choose to have up there. So you can choose to see yourself in your beautiful ball of light, and reaching up out of your bubble. You're going to gather as much of this energy that you need, bringing it down into your bubble, which is about 6 feet above you, below you, all around you, in front of you, behind you, filling up your whole bubble, the whole body, dropping it in the crown of your head so it lights up your whole body, and just becoming that light. Knowing that one atom of this energy is enough to create a whole entire universe, so it's surely enough to help you get through this day and the rest of this year and next year. And just feel yourself in this energy right now, asking yourself, what can you create as we step day by day closer to that 2022 energy? What are you going to create this upcoming year? From here, we're just going to pray, Mother, Father, God, creator of all that is, Atanaha, all that is, thank you for my life, and thank you for the life of my dear friend, Kelley Hunter. Thank you for all of the people who are listening to Leading with Light. Be with us all today, Creator, for our highest and best alignment, highest and best attunement. Thank you, Aho.
Aho, highest and best.
Yeah, highest to best. Kind of feeling like been having to hold the heart space lately, you know?
Venus is the goddess of love, of beauty, of the heart. And Venus is conjunct Pluto, the god of death and rebirth. So when you let us through this experience and we're letting go of what doesn't feel good, what we're not in alignment with, this is the energy we're experiencing right now. And, Venus is as high in the evening sky as she gets. And she's about to turn back toward the sun in what we call her retrograde cycle. So Venus is conjuncting the sun and then turning retrograde. Now, this happened on the full moon weekend of the 18th and 19th. Full moon weekend, we have Venus joining Pluto and turning downward to invite us into a journey into our hearts. When Venus goes retrograde, she says, you come talk to me. You come into your heart. You let us enhance your emotional intelligence. Let us feel our way deeper and deeper into the personal essence of who we are, so we tap into the divine, where all love is. And so that's what Venus does 5 times every 8 years in a beautiful cycle and patterning. And let me just show you a picture of this, how Venus does this. Every 8 years, she makes this 5-pointed star through the sky.
You have to be kidding me.
And we're experiencing this one right now, Venus going retrograde in the sign of Capricorn, which she does every 8 years. So this particular Venus retrograde is about the forms and structures and patterns in our life. That's what Capricorn is. Capricorn is an earth sign. It's about how we're living on this earth and the systems we have in place. And we're seeing a lot of those fall apart lately. Pluto's been in Capricorn since 2008, and it's right toward the end now. And so Pluto's like got some last work to do to strip it down so we can rebuild in a healthy manner. And Venus is like, you talk to me about this. I want there to be more beauty in life. I want to be in harmony with the earth energy. I want new forms and systems and structures and ways of living that are in harmony with the earth and in harmony with your heart too. So Pluto is about the major transformational energy going on in the collective consciousness. So it's a global thing. And so Venus connecting with Pluto has global implications, but also very personal ones in terms of the issues of Venus, which are values, love energy, relationships, our arts, aesthetics, values, and money. Venus is the money planet. There was a goddess named Money. So Venus is part of that. So in Capricorn, it's like what's working and what's not. What is, it's like simplify. For instance, just a simple thing to do. For some people, it's not so simple. But this is like cleaning out your closet or things that you're not using anymore. Or looking around and saying, I never look at that picture anymore. Maybe I want a new picture on my wall that's more about where I'm at now and what I'm finding beautiful. And I don't use this teacup anymore. It's a special teacup. Maybe I'll give it to a friend of mine who likes to drink tea. That sort of thing. Very simple. Capricorn is just simplification, basics, and, using things well. So that is part of it. But this Pluto activation is a global situation and has a lot to do with the transformation of the financial system that we're getting glimmers about. And it's going to be hitting us right in the face. And Venus says, make it a good way, make it in a good way. And so Venus is about improvements. To begin with, Venus is saying, okay, like let go of stuff that isn't resonant that you don't want. And so when I'm talking today, I want to apply it a bit to the collective, but this is a personal process that we're all in that contributes to the larger transformation of values. So that's what we're going to be mainly attending to today. So in terms of relationships, this could be like maybe you've gotten to a point where you need a new way of relating together. Maybe there's been a loss that has changed a family context. So it's coming into your heart and communing with in a very like Capricorn is like mature. Capricorn is like step up and be responsible.
Able
and
to respond.
that enhances relationships when you're being true to yourself and responsible to yourself. Here's where I'm at. This is what's working for me. And it's about reevaluating all of what's going on in your life in terms of, your emotional happiness and pleasure and delight and joy. And, can we let go of what doesn't match that? And you'll say, oh, that's impossible. Life is life. But this is an exercise to help us redesign our reality.
Awesome.
Reevaluate, kind of go back over, reconstruct, reconstitute things maybe that we've given up in the fray of things. And certainly it has to do with how do we want to experience life as we head into the new year and as we head into a new phase, which hopefully is out of this last couple of years of intensity. Not to say we're going to lose the intensity for a bit here, but we're going to start moving out more into the social arena and how do we want to relate to each other? And where are you with yourself in terms of how you want to say, like, negotiate your encounters and your engagement, with others and in the larger social life. And so it also is about being responsible for a level of self-sufficiency, which Capricorn is about. Rely on yourself. Don't depend on other people. Everybody's going through stuff, so we can't depend on other people in the ways that we might have. So it's like, okay, I got to step up here. And what can I do to take care of myself, get my stuff together, think financially as well. Like look at your whole financial picture and see where you're at and cut back and simplify where necessary. And, just consider how you're dealing with life, in a practical way. Capricorn's a very practical sign. It's a business oriented sign, but also in an emotional way too, that the pleasure, simple things can give us great pleasure. I don't like to wash dishes so much, but I like to do laundry.
Yeah, nice.
I like clean clothes. So,
yeah.
That
I know
kind of
Tide
thing.
Pods have been really making me so happy the past couple of weeks. I'm usually way too sensitive to those smells, but I actually am not. And so it really helps because, we have puppies and, it's
all
nice
of that,
yeah.
the sense of life,
Yeah.
the taste, the pleasure of the senses. I love cloth. I love like textiles. Some of the oldest things I have are textiles. Poodles
are so soft and yummy, and they don't stink and they don't shed and they dry fast.
Exactly. So make sure, you're taking care of things and dealing with what you need to deal with and bring pleasure into whatever you do. That's an attitude. It's not like, oh, I've got to do this. It's like, oh, I have to do this. Let me bring pleasure into it.
I think to bring pleasure into the things that just usually are pleasurable, there needs to be a little bit of spaciousness, and the breathing part is going to help that a lot. Like, yes. I find myself really rushing around and doing a lot of things right now. And so when I realize I'm holding my breath,
yes,
because there's one thing and then there's another thing, and then I got a baby dog. Oh my God, why in the rain, So if I breathe, it brings like so much more
Yeah.
spaciousness.
Well, when you're comfortable in your body, you're in a better flow.
Yeah, I'm not feeling so comfortable
Yeah.
these days. A little
You know,
crunchy.
you can put on
crunchy.
music, there are lots of
Yeah.
things you can do in relation to the responsibilities or the, the daily stuff, and, just don't put pressure on yourself. No necessary to do that. Not necessary. Sometimes like, I feel like I have to get caffeinated to attend to my day. And it's like, no, that's not so good for my nervous system all the time.
Yeah.
But I love a cup of tea. And so it's just, finding a way to go about things, and maybe even change the way you go about things. Maybe some things
simplifying.
you don't need to be doing those,
Mm-hmm.
so it's that kind of reevaluation of how you're working with your life. And this goes on from, it started on the 18th, 19th of December, and Venus is retrograde all the way through January to the 28th. So this is when Venus, actually at some point, she disappears from the sky. She disappears from the sky. When is that? I know I have this written down because it's just so much to remember. She disappears from the sky right at the beginning of January. She's setting with the sun sometime in there. It depends on your longitude and latitude and your angle on the sky. And then what Venus does is she comes in front of the sun from our point of view. So Venus is closer to the earth as she ever gets. And if we could see her, she would be like haloed in the sunlight. And this is where she's taking a sun bath, and she's saying, okay, now we're going to start a new cycle. And she comes up in the morning sky and says, hey, it's time for initiative. It's time for new things. And she's retrograde for a good period of that time. She's retrograde until the end of January, the 28th, 29th. And she is then sort of turns forward. And by then, she's gone all the way back from 26 Capricorn with Pluto, all the way back to 11 degrees of Capricorn. She turns around. And there's a degree symbol for every, like this would be to 12 Capricorn, actually. And here's the symbol for it. See if this resonates. So when Venus turns forward, she's bringing this energy out. A student of nature lecturing, revealing little known aspects of life. So this is part of what Venus is bringing forward, which might bring things from our history, because Capricorn has to do with tradition and history and what's gone before in our experience. It might bring up new discoveries, for instance. And then Venus is moving forward all the way through February. And on the new moon on March 2nd, Venus joins Pluto again. So she's back where she started from. And not only is Venus joining Pluto, but so is the planet Mars on the new moon, February 2nd. Now that is a big power portal. That is a big portal of it's a Pisces new moon. The planet Jupiter is there, and really enhancing our sense of sensitivity and compassion. And there is Venus and Mars, the two mythic lovers. So this has a big impact on relationships, and Pluto is there. So by then, whatever reevaluation has been going on in terms of relationships and how relationships are working or not, or any new ways of going about it, or is it time to, kind of say we're done here we're done here. That could be, known by early March on that new moon, which is a moon of new beginnings, as all new moons are. So that is the whole Venus retrograde cycle that takes us across the new year all the way into March. So the first couple of months of 2022 are going to be involved with this redesigning reality, which means, from a collective level, whatever going on there, we are all going to have to say, okay, well, what does this mean to me? How am I going to respond to this? How can I rework my life based on what's happening? And then, so that's going to be a very interesting time. And one way I suggest to approach this is to say, how would I live my life if money were not an issue? Because it's an issue for so many people. And right now, a lot of people are in kind of crunch time. It's been really challenging. And so just to consider that as a question, which frees us of that, kind of limitation, which is often what we consider it, to say, what is my heart desire? How do I want to live? What would make me happy? And just go wild with that. Just really, consider all factors of that. And so your heart is feeling joy. So your heart is feeling excited, and this is a good vision. Yes, I would love to be doing that. I would love to be experiencing this.
I was just teaching a manifesting and abundance class last weekend, and that is a question we often ask our students. If you had all the money in the world, what would you create? And it's amazing what people come up with. And then the problems that come with it. And so when we work on those problems that come with it and clear those,
yes,
then it allows them to step forward and bring that in. I was just working with a client a couple of weeks ago, and we cleared something from a long time ago. And just clearing that one is a punishment because she was a leader, and the leader made a mistake and everybody died, often common past life kind of thing. So she'd been punishing herself for all those lifetimes. We cleared that, and just within a couple of weeks, she told me that she is having her whole project funded.
Wow, that's
so
wonderful.
She can step forth into leadership again.
And that's so interesting. And it reminds me of something else. It's quite a significant change going on in the astrology roster. And that has to do with one of the new Kuiper belt objects that's out there a little bit past Pluto. Mm-hmm. And Pluto, is an underworld god. And a few of the Kuiper belt objects are also connected to the underworld. And just this, in 2021, there was this Kuiper belt object named Ixion went from Sagittarius into Capricorn, which means it's conjuncting the solstice point. And Ixion was an ancient Greek king who was just, he killed his father-in-law because he didn't want to give him the horses for the bride price. No one had ever killed a family member before. It was a horrendous crime. He got exiled. He went crazy, and Jupiter, king of the gods, said, I'm gonna have him come visit me. We'll have a talk, and I'm gonna give him a second chance. So Ixion went up to Olympus and started flirting with Juno, Jupiter's wife. And Juno said, Jupiter, he's flirting with me. And Jupiter said, I'm going to test this guy. So Jupiter made a cloud form that looked just like Juno. And Ixion seduced her. The cloud. So number one, Jupiter knew he betrayed him. No, crimes not only against humanity, but crimes against the gods.
Wow.
And it so turned out that the cloud Juno gave birth to a person named Centaurus, who ended up mating with a horse, and that's how all the Centaur race started.
Wow.
all that half horse, half men race. But Ixion, like Jupiter said, no good. So he bound him to a wheel in the underworld that went round and round. He was tied to this wheel by snakes, and he had to keep repeating like a mantra, show gratitude to your benefactor. It was like a mantra. So here he was chained to the karmic wheel of life until he repented and did his penance and showed gratitude, which is one of those beautiful emotional Venus qualities of appreciation and gratitude. So this is now conjunct the solstice. So we have an opportunity here in the new year to get off that wheel by showing more gratitude, being grateful for the life we have, not complaining about things, not trying to cheat, not trying to, get things or hurt other people, but to realize that no, we've overcome that part of our lives. We don't need to do that anymore. We don't need to repeat these old patterns or hold on to those old patterns, just like your client that you were talking about. So we have a chance to be, freed from this wheel and to move into a new energy. And each of us has to do that journey ourselves. Each one, like your client, has a specific something that's keeping us bound. This could be regrets that we carry from mistakes we made in this lifetime, not to mention other lifetimes. Yes, and just let them go. Let them go. Find a way to let that go.
As humans, we will punish ourselves for lifetimes and lifetimes and lifetimes ago. Yeah. The guilt and punishment that comes from that is still affecting us today.
Yeah, so there's some belief system about that, isn't there? Some belief system that we're not good, that we deserve to be punished, and that's often imposed by religious dogma.
Yeah, and like in that past life, she failed her community. She did the best she could, but she still failed. So our own holding ourselves to a certain standard too, I think.
Mm-hmm. Huh. Do you have some kind of download about that?
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. How about, would you like to know what it feels like to release yourself from that karmic wheel of punishment and punishment and guilt, and step forth into your new free life full of gratitude?
Yeah.
And enjoying the abundance all around you and within you. How about that?
I'd be so grateful to be freed and allowed, allowing myself to experience that.
Oh, and I need to add this part, because we keep that guilt and that punishment there so that we remember in ourselves and our DNA not to do that again, to not do those again. So would you like to know how to be able to release yourself from the obligation of carrying that guilt and that punishment through lifetimes, and remember that you can remember what you were learning through those different lifetimes through your connection to that sparkly white light, that seventh plane energy of creation, to creator of all that is.
And if we get that out of our DNA, does that mean we free our family ancestry line from carrying that on?
Up to 7 generations, if they so choose.
Yes.
But yes, they can choose. Whatever you do on your genetics, it can affect up to 7 generations behind you.
Oh.
Even if they've passed. And ahead of you, even if they're unborn. So how about we can just learn through our connection to creator of all that is, instead of doing it all by ourselves and that human thing. Okay, I'm a human. I'm going to remember to punish myself because that was really a bad experience and I don't want to do that again. So I'm going to hold on to this suffering, this guilt, and this torture. That's what we do. All the way back to the dinosaurs, man. So let's release ourselves from doing that on a group conscious level. I release you, you release me, we release you, we release all from having to do that, and just let's pop off of that karmic wheel like Ixion and just step into gratitude and that complete embrace of free agency, freedom, abundance, and just consciously create a highest and best alignment for ourselves and together. How about that? Would you all like that? If you'd like that download, you just say heaven, yes.
Heaven, yes.
Okay, so it is. Poof.
Feels like a weight is off the shoulders.
Yeah. That karma can be completed. Part of the reason why we keep those there is so that we don't do them again, but also we learned a lot of virtues from those experiences. So maybe from failing your community as a leader, maybe you learned how to deepen your connection to source and pray every 30 billionth of some kind of second, you know, so that you can just be on point. Or maybe you were learning about forgiveness. Or maybe you were learning about caring and nurturing and unconditional love and unity and community. So that's also the benefit to keep that punishment and guilt there, so that you can remember the virtues that you were studying and learning in that life. Because the more virtues you get,
we learn what we can handle,
right,
and what we can't handle. And that's also a lesson from this Venus cycle, because when Venus is, aligned with the sun and creating this beautiful new cycle, the image for that is a child of about 5 carrying a huge bag of groceries.
Say that first part again, because I got the child with the bag carrying the groceries, but
she's 5 years old, or he is 5 years old.
But what was the astrological part?
Oh, that was when it was 19 Capricorn, which is at the degree at which the alignment of the sun and Venus happens. And by the way, that is very important for people who were born in the early 1990s, who have a lot of Capricorn planets. This is a very important cycle for them. And there was in 1993, there was an exact alignment of Jupiter and Neptune, 2 of the collective higher consciousness planets that impact the agenda of certain generations. And that group had 2 of them in Capricorn, and that degree was 19 degrees. So that's really relevant. This whole Venus cycle is really relevant to the generation that has Uranus and Neptune. Some of them have Saturn, some of them have Sun, Venus, Mercury, or whatever else in Capricorn as well. So they have been under quite a burden, and they've learned that they really can handle a lot, even at a young age. They've had to, and they're here to help change the way the world works, and they are coming into their time now.
Well, that's convenient. So little 5-year-olds carrying giant bags of groceries are coming of age, and they're going to rock it.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. I followed that. Woo! So with the virtues, the more virtues that we learn as a soul, the more kind of magic tricks we can do with the different laws of the universe. And the more we can just kind of embody that infinite, true, divine nature that we truly are through all time and space.
Yes.
So
yeah, the creator gods are coming in and saying, dance with me.
Yeah, and it'll help us to dance if we're not so burdened with karmic debts and punishment and guilt.
Exactly.
So we are going to complete those, and so it is, and we're moving forth into gratitude, abundance, love. Poof, 2022, let's do it.
Yes. So we're, reevaluating and redesigning, working it out all through January, and then Venus turns forward and unwinds it, kind of starts to apply it. And then in March, there's this, whoa, I don't know what to say about it. Amazing moment. The energy is so going to shift after that.
Great.
So meanwhile, back in January, Mercury has gone into Aquarius and has visited Saturn and said, okay, we have to think about this. So Mercury, the fleet-footed messenger of the gods, goes retrograde on January 14th, hanging out with Saturn. And it's like, okay, hold on here. I need to step back and get a perspective on what's going on. And so Mercury goes backwards rethinking things, even while Venus is still reevaluating. There's also more of like, does this make sense? This is how I'm feeling. How does this relate to the bigger picture? You know, how am I perceiving all of this? Do I need to change the way I'm thinking? Do I really need to realign a little bit up here in the brain to get my heart and head together? And then Mercury goes back into Capricorn, and guess what? Connects with Pluto. Connects with Pluto right at the beginning of February, first week in February, stays with Pluto, like, okay, talk to me, big news, something's coming out that we all need to know, whether we like it or not. Something is changing. It's like a little mind-blowing. It has major implications. And then Mercury turns forward and says, okay, all right, now I've got that under my belt. Now I see what's been going on better. Now we're definitely not doing that anymore. I don't even want to think about it. And then it goes back into Aquarius to kind of get a broader perspective with a more, I don't know if I want to say open mind, but yes, maybe spacious mind, a more informed perspective on the larger picture. And by then, Venus is turning forward. And Mars is in Capricorn. Venus and Mars actually get together on February 16th, which happens to be a full moon. I mean, these moons, I mean, the planets are just lining up to celebrate the new moons and the full moons. It's quite something. So then everybody's, you know, moving along, and, you know, we have that early March moment that is definitely big. And part of the reason is because, you know, it's in Pisces, but Jupiter is there. Jupiter was in Pisces just for a couple of months last summer or winter, if you're in the Southern Hemisphere. But it is going back, or went back into Pisces again at the end of the year, like just at the end of the year. We had so much going on. So there was the total eclipse in December. There was the full moon. Venus turned retrograde. Chiron, the teacher healer, turned forward, ready to move on. We had solstice. We had the last exact interaction of Saturn and Uranus that have been one of the big things all through 2021 about how are we moving forward, who's against it, who's for it, where's their resistance, where are things like just too chaotic, how do we manage these things together to move forward in a grounded way that, you know, can help us embody a new level of consciousness. So the last one of those happened on the Christmas 23rd, 24th.
Okay.
And then, you know, that's just when Venus went retrograde, and on the 28th, Jupiter entered Pisces and is there, like moving through Pisces. Jupiter's great in Pisces. Jupiter's one of the rulers of Pisces. It like really enhances, you know, it amplifies. That's what Jupiter does. It makes more of it. It makes it bigger. And this is Pisces at best. That would be compassion and feeling how we're all in this together, and, you know, feeling that those waves and blessings. At worst, it's like, I can't handle it. I'm checking out. Give me some kind of drug. So, you know, we want the good side of it, because this is like helping us feel that we're all in this together. It helps us overcome, you know, arguments and different points of view, because we're all feeling like we're joining in now together.
And that's so, the 28th, 29th, as you said?
In December, on the 28th, 29th, that's when Jupiter goes back into Pisces. And then, you know, fast forward through the whole Venus retrograde cycle to that March 2nd new moon in Pisces, and Jupiter's right there saying, feel it. This is an incredibly powerful moon. And it also comes along with some more of that perspective that we need. You know, that it's like objective. It's like, okay, here's what's happening. And it could have to do with some kind of technology that is going to help improve our world in some way. So anyway, this March 2nd new moon, and, that kind of leads us on into equinox. And equinox always just seems to like engage some of the most powerful patterns of the year. So it has this it leads right into a moment in April, which I'm just going to like mention. We'll talk about it next time. On April 12th, Jupiter's in Pisces, and it joins Neptune, the god of the sea, of compassion, of spirituality. And so this gets amplified in a way that hasn't happened in quite a while. Jupiter and Neptune get together every 13 years, but in Pisces, they both rule Pisces and they're together in that sign. This hasn't happened since sometime in the 1800s, I think. So I'd have to look back on that, but this is this is angels singing in the skies. This is this waves of compassion, and just feeling like so much has washed away, under the bridge, and we are moving forward. And this is a new experience that we got on the ship and we're heading to new shores.
That's a great image.
Yeah, so that's really a beautiful time, and the new moon on March 2nd kind of inaugurates that, kind of opens the door to that.
Okay, I had some questions from some people because I was ahead of the game finally on my Facebook page, and letting them know. And someone was asking about February 22nd, which is 222.
Oh wow,
2022.
Yeah.
February 22nd, 2022.
Okay. Well,
Mary Magdalene in that.
That's lovely. That's as good as having a total eclipse on the day of the Virgin of Guadalupe, right?
Right.
So let's see. Let me find my February notes.
Sure.
They're scattered all over. The 22nd. Well, that's right after the sun has entered Pisces. Let me get specifically to that date, the 22nd.
Yeah, while you do that, maybe I'll think about a download.
Yeah.
I'll ask creator for a download of how about being kind and compassionate and patient toward self and others during that Venus retrograde, and as it goes direct, right? So it's going retro and this going to go direct, correct? That whole Venus journey.
Yes, Venus turns forward on the at the end, like the 28th or 9th of January.
Okay,
just before this moment,
Okay,
just before February.
Great. So how about having patience and compassion and unconditional love for yourself as you're reevaluating and reconstituting and responding and figuring out what works for you, and having that patience, that kindness, that unconditional love, that compassion for others, understanding that everyone's going through some kind of form of reevaluation.
Yeah.
I was just right before this call, my computer would not turn on. And I called Apple, and then we couldn't get it started. And I kind of had a feeling it was my energy all whacked out because I whack out my computer. And so I went in the other room and I did an energy break. But and everything we tried, it would not turn on. But the lady, when I was talking to her, she was so kind because I was about ready to like lose it because it's been really intense these past few days. And I've been just doing boom, 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 so many things like beyond my capacity, out of the blue, having to cope with random stuff. And so she's like, talked me down. She's like, it's going to be okay. I know it's going to be okay. She was so confident. And I was like, why do you know it's going to be okay? And she shared with me like how this whole year she's like had one family member after another die. and she went through a breakup and just all this stuff. And she was so solid, so grounded. And I just felt so much compassion for her and so much admiration and gratitude for her capacity to bounce back. She's like, don't let it get to you. Just keep on going. Just keep on going.
Beautiful.
It's all going to be okay. I'm like, and then I went in the other room and my computer turned on. I'm like, oh my God. Like, that was crazy. I said, I think I was supposed to just call just so I could talk to you.
You know, that I've been having really good conversations with people who are helping me with issues, or who I'm like, you know, a random call up and you get somebody at the other end of the line. I've been having fabulous conversations with these people, and you feel like, yes, I am meant to connect.
I felt like it was supposed to be like we were supposed to connect, not only like both of us. It felt
and be human with each other, not just like technical helper sort of thing, but make it a meaningful encounter.
She was amazing. I think she was an angel. Yeah. So anyways, 2022, just so compassion. So the download is, if you would like it, heaven, yes, just say it, of having compassion for yourself, and that kindness and that unconditional love and that patience with yourself, if I already said that, and others, as we go through this Venus journey through March.
Heaven,
like that, poof. Wherever you are, poof, Creator knows where you are. So Creator will teach you in every cell of your body. Okay.
So, you know, I mentioned that Venus and Mars were conjunct in Capricorn on the 16th. So that conjunction is sort of like they're in a dance. They're doing a waltz the whole rest of the month until that March point where they're both, you know, connecting to Pluto. So this is a very meaningful, emotional time to kind of consolidate how we reevaluated our situation and how we are redesigning our reality emotionally. And then Mars says, it's happening, we're doing it. And so this February 20, the 2-2,
is it 2-2-2-0-2-2?
That's great. Oh my goodness, that's so resonant. Moon is in Scorpio that day. So it's definitely a powerful day that kind of enhances that whole Pluto process and this sense of there's something deeper that's moving into this reality now. And we want the divine feminine. Venus is part of the divine feminine. And when we have Venus conjunct Pluto, that's the powerful feminine. That's a kind of Kali type, like, let's do it. Let's just leave the past behind. Let's let go of whatever is dragging us down. Let's, you know, and there's the Mercury part of thinking good thoughts.
I think she's planning
by then, Mercury's back in Aquarius. And it's definitely singing the song of the age of Aquarius.
Excellent. So I think she's planning on getting married that day. So intentionally, it's her favorite number. So
and that's such a magical number. Plus there's the Mars Venus conjunction that is continuing for a couple of weeks there, in a way that you are coming together in your, you know, in your, what's the word we want to use here? Your true capacity, your true, you know, matured being. And so am I. So this is really going to work. You know, a lot of cultures consider marriage to be like a business partnership. Can we make our lives work? And this is like, yes, this is we can make the change together that we want to make. You know, we can do it. This is very empowering with the Pluto there. Pluto's either empowering or disempowering. So it's kind of a choice that's in part attitude, but in part how we take that responsibility. Mars is great in Capricorn. You know, Mars is, I've learned from experience, sometimes the hard way, and I know what I'm capable of. I'm going to take it on. I have a lot of know-how here. I can do this thing.
Yeah. That's awesome. Okay. Well, I'm sure she'll be happy to hear that. And how about March 13th, since that's my birthday?
Oh, yes. Well, let's see where we
Or
are.
just like just somewhere in between March 2nd and solstice. So equinox, March
Well, we've got a
21st.
full moon.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
we've got the March 2nd, then we've got a full moon right on the eve of equinox, practically. It's March 18th. Now, that one is really foreseeing that Jupiter and Neptune combination we got on April 12th. So we have Mercury and Jupiter and Neptune all really close to the sun in Pisces. And then the full moon in Virgo is like, let's ground it. Let's take all this heavenly energy and do something with it. Be of service. Whatever, respond to the moment in the best way possible with the fullest compassion that we can bring to this moment.
I got this visual when you're saying this of all these angels landing in human bodies.
Well, this can also be this energy coming in. A lot of extraordinary energy. I mean, we're getting these waves of plasma or photons or ether, whatever we want to call it, with a lot more light frequency coming into our system for some time now. So we're needing to kind of download it, and our bodies like need to adjust to all this. And this could be quite a wave coming in of this sparkling light. And it's like, okay, you know, take this full moon and just attend to your body. And that full moon is in a very nice relationship to Pluto. You know, this is really feeling the earth energy and how it's calling us, and nature has a lot to say in these times. This is like, let your dog tell you, listen to what your cat wants to communicate, go talk to a rose, smell some pine needles, you know, whatever that is. A beautiful time to really appreciate the extraordinary, you know, refined beauty of refined in a sensate way, you know, of Virgo.
Sweet.
Yeah, that's it's a beautiful moon. It's it really is. It's got a lot of great energy to it in terms of community and friendship, and you know how we're all getting along, and you know like people have been you know going down and helping like people in Kentucky who had the tornado or whatever. It's like doing that. It's like people coming together in you know, people who might not have known each other, but we've got a common cause here. Let's get this done. Let's raise the barn. Let's sew the quilt, you know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So coming together. Venus is gonna do her tricks, and then we're all gonna come together, enjoy some mama nature.
Yeah, it's a big piece of work, this Venus retrograde, like, you know, to take seriously this question of how do we want to redesign our lives, and know that we are capable of it. You know, even if it's a big bag of groceries, we can carry it, we can do it. And the Mars joining Venus at this pivotal moment on the March 2nd new moon is part of that. We can do this. And that's like a part of February is getting more and more confident about that. Okay, and so then making really changing the energy. Yeah, really bringing certain things to a close, you know, like not doing that anymore. And, you know, that's part of what this whole realignment that we start the new year is about.
Okay. So popping into spring equinox, just feeling into how all of those planets come together and carry you to that moment. And then looking back, what is it that we need as a download to help us make the highest and best, most impeccable, authentic, aligned movements and steps forward that are self-sustaining.
Good word.
Nice, right? That are like self-nurturing and self-caring, because it sounds like it's going to be a journey, as it always is.
Yeah.
But what is it that we need?
You know, on solstice, with Pluto and Venus, like right there, Venus about to go retrograde, the moon is in Cancer, opposite Venus. This is the feminine, and this is the powerful feminine. And the moon in Cancer is it can bring us whatever we need if we are receptive in the I Ching way, the receptive, allowing it, if we ask from above. Sometimes we don't always get what we need from other people, but we always get what we need from the divine.
So how about remembering asking for what we need, like verbalizing and actually praying, asking, literally I got off the phone before the Apple lady with my friend, and she did this little prayer with me for me. And I was just like, I need to feel more of my angels, more of my guides, more of that real contact. And then I had this lady from Apple, right?
Wow.
And in between that, I had this guy come over and look at our tile, and I put him on my text as tile angel, because he's like gonna come out in the middle of the woods and he knows what he's doing. And he actually can do everything. He's like a contractor, so he's now a tile contractor in my mind, and he has all these connections. So, and then I get to talk to you, so boom, boom, boom. I think we're just gonna be, remembering to ask for Creator, God, Jesus, Buddha, Gala, Great Sparkle Pony, Allah, whatever you need to call it, above, to remind us to ask for what we need, and then to ask for what we need, and then allow ourselves to receive it. How about that? Would you like that download? Just say heaven yes, if so.
Heaven yes.
Okay. So it is, beautiful souls.
It is.
Have what you need right now. All is well, all is well, all is well. Breathe, drink water, pray. Receive unconditional love, witness it, allow, you're all good, it's all okay.
Enjoy.
And have some joy, enjoy, bring it into your bodies. And this feels like a good time to wrap this up. What do you say?
It does.
Yeah.
We had some major big patterns. We looked at them all. It brings us across the New Year threshold, a very powerful time, and into a year
bridge.
that, we need to do the work we need to do. And then, wow, things are going to really shift and feel a lot lighter.
Beautiful. So Venus, we're hopping on that love bridge. It's going to carry us through. You're going to get everything you need and that you want to. The love of Creator in your hand, in your heart, in your mind. You'll go out and have a good time. Well, it works. All right. So, blessed. Thank you so much, beautiful soul. It has been a pleasure having you join me here today on Leading with Light. I love what you're up to in the world, and I know how much the planet needs people just like you.
It's such a great opportunity to share and know that people are listening and feeling that we're all in this experience together, and whatever ways in which we can, send energy to each other and really appreciate the possibility of this powerful moment. Wow. Unprecedented, cosmic, like, wow.
Okay. My wow, Kelley. You have a beautiful day, everyone. We're going to peace out now. So big poof to y'all. Let's do a poof. Poof.
You've been listening to Leading with Light. Be sure to subscribe so that you don't miss a single episode. And while you're at it, please leave a rating and review, and be sure to share it with your friends. Tune in every Tuesday for more exciting ways to help you pop into true divine connection and clarity, live in the energy of limitless possibilities, and delight in the love playground. Get your magic on and make this world a happier place. Yo.